Hey there, guys. It's Eric. Basically, just wanted to make a little video where I played through my mod and give some insight on some of the history of it, the design decisions I made, and all sorts of stuff like that. So, I guess that being said, may as well just get started here. As you can see, the very first thing you notice is that a lot of the music gets preloaded here during the intro sequence. So basically, the point of that is that a lot of music will actually hang the game for a second or two. It'll pause and freeze unless the music has already been played previously. So basically, what that does is it plays through every single song at the start and then immediately stops it so you don't hear anything. So that's effectively preloading it. Um, there may be a change in the Lua API in the future that fixes that, but as far as I can see, that is the best way to go about it, because this mod actually has a custom music system that supports songs where there's two parts. There's an intro part to the song and then a looping portion of the song, and without the preloading of that music, the game would hang a lot during those times where the music starts to loop. Anyways, so here in the title, you just heard some of the custom music there. This mod does use a fully custom music system that I spent quite a bit of time refining myself, and the majority of the music is ripped from the game Super Paper Mario, but the song you're about to hear here is actually ripped from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Anyways, this is the camp. As you can see, I did the Spelunky modding classic of recoloring a texture, adjusting the saturation. So this is what we have as the camp. A lot of the vibe that I went for with this mod, and I'm still going for, is to keep the palettes of the colors and everything and the theme a bit more mysterious, dark, depressing. You'll see that reflected in a lot of the characters, and it's just overall a lot more lonely feeling game. And that's also reflected in the camp here, because there's nothing here over on the right. You've got this mysterious music playing, and here's Tun. Greetings, Reborn. Welcome to the dark side of the moon. These new caves are similar to the ones we are acclimated to, but with key differences. As such, I highly suggest you familiarize yourself with their nuances. To assist with this, I have prepared a training area for you. Familiarizing yourself will be the key to success. I must warn, the dark side is far more dangerous, yet all the richer. I hope you find what it is you are searching for. And with that, you can see it adds a journal entry here. And we've got all these people we have not discovered yet. And if you look at the top, the header, it's called the Darkside journal instead of the regular journal. So this is all the new content in the mod, or almost all the new content. Does have unique journal entries for it, so you can see there's only 4 entries for places because there's only 4 locations in the mod. Similar with the people, which we just saw, bestiary, same thing, items, all that good stuff. But you also notice at the top there is a little tooltip where we can press the door button to change over to the vanilla journal. So this is still fully functional with the vanilla journal, but we can also open up the Darkside journal. So that's all neat. I will avoid reading the journal entries in general, because I would much rather players read them for themselves, because the journal entries help a lot with explaining new items and new characters and things like that. And before we go ahead and start a run, I want to go ahead and do the tutorial. So I guess I could have technically locked up the main entrance like you do in the vanilla game and force you to complete the tutorial, but I know a lot of people coming into this game are going to be previous players who have save files already, and they have already done the tutorial, and I don't want to have to force them to complete it for no good reason. And also just to give you the freedom, so if you want to, use all the new mechanics of the mod and you want to learn them, you can go here, which I, of course, highly suggest as they're core to the experience. But if you're also somebody who wants to just run in and, immediately start playing, check out all the new monsters, go to the new areas, fight some bosses, that's all well and good. But for the sake of giving commentary, I'm going to complete the tutorial. Now this music, this is actually from Super Smash Bros. 64. It is a training theme. It's just a theme that immediately popped up in my head when I thought of like training music. I may change it in the future because I've been trying to make an active effort to keep all the music being ripped from Super Paper Mario. But as it stands right now, I'm very happy with this. I love this. Also, very, very minor thing. I love the way the music blends back in once you go in and out of the tutorial. That's just a very, very subtle thing that I think it's only one of those things you pick up on if you're somebody who does like game modding or game design. So here we've got custom signs. These are actually set up in a pretty interesting way. I won't go to the technical explanation because it's just not that interesting. But making custom signs was a bit of work to have your own custom text. So we'll read these off. They go away pretty quick, but it tells you basically that many weapons and perks require ammo to use. Most items have a chance at not consuming ammo when used. So if you look at the top left, you'll see that we have many different resources now instead of just bombs and ropes. We have ammo, shotgun shells, and then these cosmic ocean orbs that are experience orbs, which you will see pretty shortly. So if I pick up the shotgun, the ammo dispenser will give you some ammo, and there's a journal entry for ammo. I'm not going to read that, just so you can see it. So as you can see, a little icon shows up. When we shoot the gun, it consumes ammo. And then this is the backpack tutorial. A very important part of the mod is the backpack. So if you press your run button and your door button, it'll open up your backpack. You can navigate through it like this, and then choose an item, close it, simple. The point of the backpack system was to make it less of a hassle to have to lug around the key, since at most levels do require that you bring a key to a door, and it also lets you carry more weapons because this mod does have a subtle focus on combat. Also, I'm just now realizing that I completely ignored the sign over there, but basically it tells you that there's experience orbs you can get and that you can level up in this game. So let's go ahead and see what this sign says. Perks give you new abilities. Press up plus door to open and close the perk menu. Use A to enable or disable a perk, and press X to remove a perk from your inventory. So perks are basically new types of items, similar to power-ups, except you can enable and disable them at will with this little menu, and they cost something that are called perk points to equip. So as you can see, this item, Fire Whip, costs 3 perk points, and we have 9 total. So as the description says, we shoot flames from our whip, but it requires ammo and has a chance of consuming it when used. So we can equip it like this, so you can see that it's turned red, which is to indicate that it is equipped as a tier 1, which we'll explain perk tiers here in a second. And as you can see, that consumes perk points as well, so that's gone down to 6. So now I've got this fancy little fire whip ability. However, it costed me perk points. Anyways, there's some of the experience orbs I just talked about. Let's see what the sign says. Most perks will have an enhanced effect if you equip more than one. This is indicated by their highlight color. So as you can see, this may not come through in the video, but if you look in the bottom left corner of the red highlight of this perk, there is a little 1 there. And that 1 means it's the tier 1 effect. So we shoot a little fireball from our whip, pretty cute. Let's open up this one and equip another one. And now, as you can see, the highlight's turned to yellow and it has a 2 under it. That is a much more significant effect. So, yep, way more fire coming out of the whip. Let's get a 3rd. And now you can see it's turned green. There's a 3 in the bottom left. And it shoots a ton of fireballs and they go freaking flying. So it's an incentive to equip more than one perk. It gives you some more strategy. However, because of the perk point cap, which as of right now is 20, it is actually kind of difficult to equip a lot of one perk because most perks are generally 2 to 3 perk points. There's some variance there. But it's just a neat little thing. There's perk synergy. It helps you get more creative when you're choosing sort of your build and what perks you want to equip in your loadout. So, anyways, let's go ahead and keep moving through the tutorial here. When you level up, you get to choose an upgrade for your spelunker. After selecting an upgrade, you are given a short period of invulnerability. That is so, you'll see why here in a second. So let's go ahead and open up this XP chest, and as you can see, it completely freezes the game world. Everything freezes for a moment, and it lets you select an upgrade to these stats. So if you notice in the bottom left corner, we have a bunch of different icons, and these all indicate different attributes. So we're incorporating RPG mechanics into Spelunky. So as you can probably have already noticed, we have maximum health now, not just health. So we can upgrade our max health by 2. It also gives you an ailment cure and 1 additional health to your current health as sort of a health boost. This is pretty popular for people because this mod makes it much harder to heal damage, and you can't like get to 99 health like you can in regular Spelunky in this mod because your health is capped. So max health is very popular. I may adjust this in the future so that that you get more max health, maybe you get more health back. Or I could counterbalance it by making perk points, backpack space, and luck more desirable in some way. Because as it stands, health is probably the most popular to upgrade because people take a lot of damage and it's hard to heal back. And then we have perk points. So as you saw next to the thing that says perks, we have our perk points. So it increases it by 2. And this is good if you want to use a lot of perks. Which I generally do, as being someone who's playtested the mod probably more than anyone else. I have gotten pretty good at avoiding taking damage, so I tend to generally equip perk points a lot. Excuse me. And then we have our backpack space. So, to be totally honest, I think after you get like 3 or 4 backpack slots, unless you have items you really need, it's kind of useless. I mean, I've had runs where I'll have like a shotgun, Kapala, and some other weapons and stuff, and you know, 1 slot for the key, and I actually kind of want backpack space. But a lot of the times I don't really need it, so it's a very situational thing, and it also comes down to playstyle if you want to carry a bunch of items. I find that myself and other people generally tend to forget that we have a lot of backpack slots. So that's probably the most useless one. I would hope to, in the future, balance it so that it's more needed. But that's where it stands right now. Just increases it by 1. I felt 2 would be too many. And the last stat we have is a bit of a toss-up. It's luck. So luck is a stat that is very, very subtle, but it's very, very significant. It can be. It is a very powerful thing you can level up, but you need to know what it does before you ever really feel incentivized to upgrade it. Basically, my goal with luck was to make every single little thing that uses randomness also be influenced by this number in a positive way. So, you know, you open up a utility chest and you have like a better chance of getting a jetpack, better chance of getting like a really good utility, like, I don't know, a teleporter or something, or, you know, things like that, maybe a Madoc, I don't know. So like opening chests, or like you open up a health chest, it's a higher chance to get a, you know, like a royal jelly or something instead of a turkey. Or you can open up the health chance and it's a chance that it drops the HP plus perk, which gives you 4 extra health maximum. Things like that. And another major thing that luck does is it increases the amount of XP that enemies drop. And this is really significant because it quite significantly affects the amount of XP that enemies drop when they die. So you may get like 5 or 6 XP from an enemy with 1 level of luck, and then you're getting like 7 or 8 with 2 levels. So this is more of an investment stat to level up, where if you want to set things up to level up faster in the long term, you want to get a lot of luck. I may, in the run we do here, I may upgrade luck a lot so that I can demonstrate the effects, because it really does begin to add up fast. And as far as leveling up quick, there are a few other strategies that you can employ that we will get to here in just a moment, once we go ahead and start the run. So, oh, by the way, there wasn't a whole lot left in that tutorial. It was just kind of the ending, filling in. So now, here we are in a real run. Let's go ahead and check the journal, get that UI out of the way. The first thing you'll notice is that our perk points are down to 4, and we only have 1 backpack slot. Obviously, for the sake of the mod, the tutorial rather, I'm sorry. For the sake of the tutorial, I gave you extra perk points, so you could equip all the fire whips, and then an extra backpack slot to store both of the items, just so the player could get acclimated to going around and doing that, you know, equipping the backpack, you know, going through it, selecting items, and all that good stuff. Anyways, here we are in the caverns, not the dwellings. The caverns are a bit different. You can see we've got this more desaturated, you know, bluer tone. We've got this, what would you call this music? Perhaps grandiose, maybe? I don't know. But we've got that going on as well. Also music from Super Paper Mario. As I've tried to, as I said, only use music from that game. And you've already a bunch of stuff going on here. A million journal entries because there's just so much new stuff being thrown at the player. There's freaking shadow snakes. I had a grub bat going around with spiders all over it. I picked up this random perk I haven't even looked at yet. There's a lot going on right now. So, I'll try to explain it. So the levels in this mod are a lot different from vanilla Spelunky, because instead of just, you know, spawning here, going all the way down, you have to find a key somewhere on the level, and an enemy's holding the key. So it forces you into combat, so you have to run in and, you know, kill the enemy, get the key, and then bring it to the exit. So it's an interesting shakeup. It is more focused on combat, and things like the perk system lend itself to that, and you'll see that right now when I open up and check out this perk. So this is one that I added recently. It's called Stomp Man, and kind of a reference to the Jumpman perk from or badge from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, down to the icon in the name. What it does is it makes it so you do extra stomp damage, but your whip deals no damage. So basically, I have a 4 damage stomp now, but my whip, as you can see, does no damage to this caveman, and I'll demonstrate that here again. It still stuns him though. So as you can see, no damage is dealt, no damage sound effects, but it did stun him. But if I stomp on him now, instant kill, because I have the perk equipped. So it's kind of a oh, this is the maggot gun. We'll check that out in just a second. It's kind of a this is more of a risk-reward perk, where it's not just plain upgrades. You do have a downside, and I mean the whip is pretty critical, but it is also nice to be able to go around and stomp on everything for one hit. And also, I guess while we're here, I can quickly explain the different kind of enemies. So as you saw, there was a snake that had like shadow particles coming off it. It had 2 health instead of 1, and then there was this I think it was a bat with flies all over it. It was green, had like a gas on it, and it dropped this thing, which is the maggot gun. Now I have seen some very interesting reactions to this weapon because it is kind of gross, and I will demonstrate to you now before the ghost kills me. It shoots out these little maggots that explode into flies, and those projectiles can just wreck stuff because that is a lot of damage going out. Each of those do 2 damage, and they spread quite a bit. So basically a maggot shotgun. We'll save that for later. Anyways, all these different kinds of enemies are called monster variants. So you can see the ones we've discovered here are the infested and the shadow type. There's a bit of lore here on the journal, but basically these are variants to monsters that make them more difficult or threatening, and they force you to play more carefully around them. When enemies are being generated, before a level is generated, or I suppose after the layout's generated and the enemies are being generated, there's a chance that all of these monsters get turned into monster variants, and that's what this is. So you're going to see more of those as we're going through, and you will get very acclimated to them because they're rather common. So, next level of the caverns here, it's a bit bigger, and we've got this weird looking Yang guy, but he's not quite Yang, and I will show you here in just a second. As you can see, he's hunting for turkeys, and his name is Yin. And I don't plan to read off a lot of the journal, but here's his little flavor text, is that he's a deranged criminal and avid hunter who fled to the moon after becoming wanted on all 7 continents, including Antarctica somehow. So, I actually had somebody in the Spelunky modding channels of the Discord server recommend that he be named Yin. Oh, right, I have the stop him perk. I'm gonna go and equip that real quick. Anyways, somebody actually suggested calling him Yin because it's yin and yang. So basically, regular Yang loves turkeys, and then this guy hates turkeys and he wants to hunt them. So it's very similar to the turkey quest in the dwellings intentionally. But obviously, we're bringing him the turkeys for a different purpose. So we can throw this to him, and he gives us these 2 items here. So as you can see, we've got a regular compass. Behaves how you'd expect. The door's right there. And then we have this hunter's compass. And as you may have read in the flavor text, what this does is point to the enemy holding the key, which is this little caveman variant here. This little lizard caveman. So, killed him. Basically, in Darkside, the horned lizard is extinct. They are gone. So, part of the reason that is because these little cavemen were trying to copy Quillback's sort of, style. They wanted to be more like him. Also, more turkeys doesn't do anything. He just wants the 1 turkey. But yeah, so the cavemen copied Quillback, but they killed horned lizards because the cave porcupine was already extinct. So, horned lizards are extinct in the Darkside. Another thing that kind of lends to the more desolate, sad, somber tones of the mod. Very subtle, obviously, but it's one of those things that kind of adds up. Anyways, what I want to do is piss off Yang before I leave by stealing his turkey. Actually, this next whip is going to kill his turkey, and that's going to piss him off even more. So I'm going to piss off Yang now. I'm going to take his weapon, and I'm going to put it somewhere he can't get it, because I do not want him killing me. And I'm going to sacrifice Yin. I'm sorry. I want to open open up his door so he can... Oh, please don't die. Okay, oh well. I wanted to sacrifice him while he was alive, but that's fine. We're going to do this real quick. Sacrifice turkey. I do not like spring shoes, personally. And keep this guy. Okay, so now we got all that done. Hopefully getting the Kapala soon. Moving on to 1-3. So, another little developer fun fact. Ooh, we finally got a level up. Let's go ahead and do luck. A little fun fact about the level generation of World 1 specifically is the size of the rooms of the first 2 levels is fixed. So the first level is always a 2x2 room. So it's 2x2. It's filled in with random rooms that you can climb around, and it has the exit, the entrance and the exit. And then 1-2 is always a 2x3 grid. So, or it may be 3x2. I think it's 3x2. It's some kind of rectangle, so it's slightly bigger, but still pretty small. And it's got yin there, so you can get the key compass. And I intentionally made these levels a fixed size so that it would be easier to go through, because these levels can get very, very big, as you can see with this one. But that's also so you can find the key more easily. I'm gonna put this real quick. That's so you can find the key more easily. And it's also so you can very quickly get the Hunter's Compass, because I wanted to sort of, with the Hunter's Compass, the goal was to minimize the amount of time you spent running around going, where's the key, where's the key, where's the key? So by giving you this item early on, I hopefully mitigate a lot of that. So if you're the kind of player who wants to just grab the key and run to the exit, like speed run, that's still something you can totally do very easily early on. So I make it so it's very easy to get those tools, so you can get the, find the key, find the exit very easily. Kill this bat. Here's another variant, excuse me. This is the shielded enemy. These are kind of tricky to deal with because they have the shield, but not that bad once you, understand how to back whip. Yeah, so the whole point of that was to give the player options in the ways of how they want to go through levels. And we have the Kapala, nice. So there is also supposed to be a new shopkeeper that always spawns on this level. However, he is a bit bugged right now, and there is a chance that he doesn't spawn, and I think he may not have spawned because sometimes the Kali altar spawn will take priority over his shop. But once we do a victory lap, we should be able to see him, and I'll explain what those are once we get there, because this is a reward room. So unfortunately our shopkeeper here did not spawn, but that does mean we can go ahead and start a boss fight. So another big thing about Darkside is that 1-4, or the -4 rather, of every world, almost every world, is a boss fight. So as you can see, I had some little text here that just said honor bound. It's just you and your whip. I can't access my perks, my inventory. My bombs and ropes have been brought down to 0. I have been stripped of all of my gear except for my whip. So you're going to see as we descend down here, there's this scary pits and ladders. Well, I guess all I can do is go down. And wow, look at that. It's Quillback. And he's got a little move. So here we've got another major thing of Darkside, our boss fights. Here's Quillback. He is the boss of the dwelling, obviously. And he's intentionally supposed to be pretty easy, not super hard, but still a little difficult, a little intimidating. Just to kind of get the player used to the concept of fighting these boss fights, and how they generally tend to play out, because they're all designed in a very similar way, which is they perform an attack, they give you some kind of opening. In this case, he summons minions that you can throw at him, and there is your basic loop of the fight. So we've got some nice boss music from Super Paper Mario going. I recently made it so that all the bosses have their own unique boss fight music, which you'll see later with the next boss coming up. Also, next phase of Quillback, he has gotten red and big because he's getting angry. So now he's got a new attack where he does this kind of long leap, and he's going to keep trying to stomp us. We're going to keep jumping so he doesn't stun us on the ground. And here he is in his final phase. So now he's got this crazy spinning rolling attack. He ends up by doing this, summons 2 minions. So now things are getting pretty intense. So we'll have him dead pretty soon. Just spam these at him, maybe I'll hit him. And there we go. So as you can see, one other thing, we have achievements. So achievement unlocked, Quillback Quarrel. So if we go down here, we don't have feats, we have achievements. So as you can see, there are a bunch of achievements. A lot of these actually do not work. In fact, I believe the only two that function right now are the ones for boss fights. Anyways, we have two different ways we can go. I'm going to go one way at the start here, and then next lap or whatever ends up, I'm going to go this way. So, just like Spelunky 2, you have options between which way you want to go, and we are going to go this way. This is the jungle equivalent, otherwise known as the wilds. Also, you see this text here saying I'm being followed. You will see just what that is here in a moment. And hopefully I don't die. So, places. This is the wilds. It is the sort of equivalent of the jungle. Very, very similar to the jungle. It's sort of an option for players if you want something more familiar to Spelunky 2, because the other option, while it offers a lot of new things and very powerful items, is a lot more out there. Okay, that is a horrible start. We are going to need to level up our luck here soon. And I'm going to equip... We also got a perk from Quillback as a reward. We got Quillback Stomp, which gives you a Mario-like ground pound ability, as you can see here. So just go ahead and make good use of that, as I probably should have, because I would not have gotten cursed then. And let's hope I don't die. That would be not good. So let's go ahead and stomp this guy. So this ground pound ability stomps things for you, stuns everything around you. Very powerful ability. It's a nice reward for killing Quillback. It's very useful going into this world because it is a one-hit kill. And anyways, this here is our bounty hunter. One design choice I tend to have for Darkside is that there are no regular shopkeepers. They're basically nowhere to be found, and they're all replaced with unique sort of independent shopkeepers. So instead of getting an angry shopkeeper at the end of the level, if you steal from a shopkeeper or you kill them and tick them off, you get what's called karma. And if you get enough karma levels, eventually the bounty hunter will begin to spawn. And she functions very, very similarly to Tun, where she shows up a few seconds after a level starts and chases you down. And the only way you can reduce karma, got rid of that curse, the only way you can reduce karma is by killing her. It does not go down naturally like regular shoppy aggro, so I plan to have other punishments down the line. You know what, I'm going to swap out, I don't need this. I plan to have other punishments down the line to make it so that you really have to think if it's worth robbing a shopkeeper. Very similarly to regular Spelunky 2, you're going to want to decide if you want to be a criminal for the run you're in. And generally speaking, I like to make it harder for myself, so I want to be a criminal. Anyways. Another useful thing about the ground pound is that it actually makes you immune to fall damage. Anyways, I'm going to let her do her thing. Actually, I should realistically go ahead and kill her so I get... Oh, alright. That's also for me. Anyways, just keep on moving through here. Ooh, a perk chest. I actually haven't found that many perks so far in this run. I'm going to keep getting luck because I like leveling up fast, and I like getting better stuff from chests. So, there we go. This is a... I'm going to sort these out too. This is a pretty... this is one of the first perks I ever designed. It's called Midas Touch. Very simple, very cheap. Equip it, and enemies have a chance to drop gold coins upon death. So let's see. Oh, we have another one. So maybe with this, actually, what I can do is demonstrate perk stacking, or synergy, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and equip one, just to show and get the effect of proc, which is 25% chance. There we go. So dropped a few gold coins. Now let's equip two, and try to attack this witch doctor without getting hurt. Wow, that is a very tough spot. And as you can see, we got around $7,000 just from that one enemy death alone. So Midas Touch is actually very nice if you don't plan on committing any crime. Okay, let's go ahead and do more perk points because we're kind of running low on those. But yeah, Midas Touch is a very good perk if you don't plan on committing any crime because it gets you a lot of money. For that, that's fine. Okay. That was a bit risky, but it's okay. Anyways, I personally don't need money. We've already cemented ourselves as criminals, so I am going to equip Feeling Fine when I can. So as you can see, this is a very good perk. It would have been very useful earlier. Because what it basically does is it kind of acts like the elixir, where it prevents you from being poisoned or cursed. But obviously it comes at a fairly hefty perk cost, and it gets destroyed once it uses its effect. Oh, and here is HP Plus that I was talking about. That can be useful too, especially if you're somebody who likes to have a lot of health. It does come at a hefty perk point cost though, so you do have to make a choice there. We're getting a lot of really good perks here, but none that I can really use yet, unfortunately. I'm going to switch back to this because I want to be able to one-shot these guys without using ammo all the time. Nice. I want... So as you can see, I haven't even bothered to upgrade my backpack space yet because I just really haven't had a use for it. I have other things I'd much rather upgrade. As it stands. Oh, and he's gone. Very nice. That was another enemy variant. He drops gold coins upon death, but he leaves a little mini mummy in his path. So that's all well and good. Kind of have like an Anubis like punishment thing going on there. You also notice an enemy dropped a perk upon death. Enemies have a chance to drop perks when they die, just as a way to kind of give the player more perks as they go through the run. Let's kill this guy. I think it's all the enemies on this level. And I'm probably going to do... I'm not going to need any more health for the fight, so I'm going to keep doing coconuts. Although, backpack space would be good as well. We also didn't get another one of the shopkeepers to spawn. There's another shopkeeper that can spawn in the wilds that we did get, but hopefully in the next run we'll see them. Actually, we won't, because we're going to be going a different route. Hopefully we see them at some point. I don't have a plan for how long this video is going to be. I'm just sort of going to play through the mod and say what I have to say. Right now I'm kind of just showing off a lot of things, and next thing we'll be showing off here is the next boss. So let's go check it out. So you can drop down, a bit different from Quillback. There's no cutscene. There's this weird big egg sac that doesn't damage you. There's 2 spring platforms. Interesting. Let's see what happens when we attack this. Ew, weird. It shakes and vibrates. Okay, what happens when... And it's the giant spider with this new music that I'm very happy with. Again, Super Mario, but it just... I think it fits the big, weird, kind of scary vibe this boss has. So, very simple. He walks around. He shoots out these little egg sacs. These sort of smooth ones drop paste bombs, and you can throw them at him to attack him. So that's the main way you kill this boss. So again, kind of another dodge counter setup, where you dodge his flurry of attacks and then go in for your own. Also, Xanagir did not realize you could throw the paste bombs at him, and he spent a very long time just trying to like break them under him and then let him walk into them, which I thought was funny, but his chat figured it out. So he's almost dead. He takes about 5 hits, and he's good to go. So goodbye, giant spider, or Giga Spider, I think his name is. Once again, he drops a unique perk, which I actually quite like. I buffed it recently. It's called Spider Whisperer, and it replaces your bombs with throwable spiders that will attack monsters. You can pick them up and throw them around. They're basically your own little spider army. So I'm going to equip that with all these extra perk points, and we're going to go to the next area that is the end of the demo. So it's a big empty room. We've got Beg just sitting here. And if we walk over to him, impressive. Not many reach this far. Unfortunately, I cannot let you progress further. While I do enjoy watching you suffer, none shall reach the dream room. See you again soon. And there he goes. So that's the end of the demo. What the demo does now is it loops indefinitely, bringing you back to 1-1 with all your perks, your gear, your stats, and everything. And these are what are called victory laps. So, as you can see, that's our first victory lap. I did not mean to do that. We also get this weapon here. This is the Blade of Chaos, so if we go over to it, it's a highly unpredictable and weak weapon. Only a fool would use this. So, I won't spoil what this does for you, actually. I would much rather you play the mod for yourself and see what it does. Anyways, I think we're going to get backpack space now so I can more easily carry the key. I have Stomp Man equipped, so I can do that. I'm actually going to unequip that since I have Spider Whisperer. Anyways, as you can see, instead of throwing a bomb, I threw this little guy, and he is a menace when he does his job. There we go. And now he doesn't know where to go, so we'll just pick him up and keep using him as our own little minion. And their pathfinding's not the greatest. He tries his best, though. Use him to kill everything for us. Oh. Wow. I could have sworn I stomped down there, so I figured it set off the arrow trap, but I guess not. Oh well. Anyways, those minions, they last 75 seconds. They're quite useful. You cannot bring them between levels. But they do one-shot things, or almost one-shot things. They do quite a lot of damage, so they're good for areas like the jungle where there's a lot of multi-health enemies. Let's go ahead and do this perk stuff first. Here's a good one. This is Return Postage. It kills monsters, damage you, instantly kills them. So if you take damage, they will die instantly. So that's kind of a nice to have. But ooh, royal jelly. The main gimmick of the perk, though, is that you can get turkey back when an enemy dies. So I'll actually demonstrate that, and hopefully we can get it to proc at some point. And I will also just equip Feeling Fine because I can, and maybe plan out my perk inventory a bit. There we go. That's. I wish there was a better way to organize things, but within the the constraints of Spelunky 2, it's a bit hard. Let's get more perk points because who doesn't want more perk points? Use all the new abilities. And let's go piss off Yin for no reason. Oh, and there it is. There's the Return Postage effect. So as you can see, it's just a chance to drop turkey. I'll see if I can get it to drop. There we go. So basically, it's a chance to recoup some of your health after you get hit. So it's almost a defensive perk in a way, despite its offensive ability. Pretty interesting perk, I think. The effects do stack, and they do get very, very good once you have 3 equipped. Now, let's kill Yin. Actually, there's... Okay, I got all this equipped here. Oh, I can just stomp him. Alright. I already had all this stuff, but that was just for the sake of killing him. Let's see if we can find the shopkeeper that we missed. Oh, I don't have Spider Whisperer. I thought I had Spider Whisperer equipped, that's right. Ammo. There's still quite a few perks we've yet to see. Because I do have quite a few. I think part of the way perks work, or the system works, is that you just have so many. The player has so many choices that you can, and you have such a constraint with the perk points that you kind of make your own little perk builds. I have no shortage of ammo, so I'm not worried at all about using pullback stomp to kill enemies as it is right now. Where is the compass pointing to? I hope it didn't fail. Oh, here's our next shopkeeper. I am kind of worried right now that there's a very rare bug where the exit door will not spawn, and I'm hoping we didn't just get that. But it's looking like we did. So, there's a bug for you. And unfortunately, this is going to be the end of our run through no error of our own, sadly. Because the exit door failed to spawn. Also, that's another enemy type. It kind of mimics the boos from Super Mario, where they turn invisible and untouchable when you look at them, so you have to attack them from behind. Basically, just forcing you to back whip them. Anyways, let's check out this shopkeeper before we go ahead and reset the run, because the exit didn't spawn. Anyways, this is the arms dealer, one of Tusk's bodyguards running his little side hustle. So you can see he sells sort of weaponry-based stuff and Jump Master for some reason. I can buy out all of his shop. And anyways, let's do this. I'm a dick. Anyways, let's check out Jump Master before we go ahead and reset. So basically, it gives you a double jump. And as you can probably expect, extra stacks of Jump Master will give you more jumps. So it's a shame. We actually had a really good run going on, and I don't know what's causing this. This has been happening recently, actually, where exits are not spawning. But it is a shame because this was a good run. So I think I'm going to restart, and for this run, I'm going to kind of just try to quickly get to the exit. Also, I'm going to try to make an effort to remember that I have a Madoc in my inventory. Oh, that's another thing. You can throw the key into the exit and it'll unlock, which I think is kind of cool. It is technically faster than walking over to and unlocking it first, because you can quickly, you know, start the little sequence where you walk to the exit into the door and everything. So that's a little speedrun trick. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to bother pissing off Yin, but I do want the key compass. So, give him that. But, I guess we can talk more broadly on sort of the roadmap for this mod. So obviously right now I am playing through a small demo that I've been slowly working on and updating over the past 2.5 years now. This mod originally started as the Pit of 100 Trials, as you may or may not know. And basically it was going to be like, imagine if the Pit of 100 Trials a thing in Spelunky. And the idea kind of kept growing from there, as did my ambition, until I sort of decided on basically making a whole new spin on the Spelunky formula with this mod. So that's what this has kind of become. Sorry, I was focusing on making sure Yin there died. There is gear down there, and I kind of want it. I do have a Madoc. So yes, this mod originally started as sort of a clone of the Pit of 100 Trials. There was going to be 100 levels, and they had, like, you know, enemy layouts. You had to fight through, you had to kill every enemy to progress. And this was fine, but obviously asking people to kill 100 freaking you know, and going through 100 levels is kind of ridiculous, especially with how difficult this mod was, because the max health mechanics and everything were still in place. And also, it's like, obviously it's fun to make a difficult mod, but you don't want to, like, make it so hard that nobody wants to actually play it besides total masochists. And, you know, I don't want people who maybe want more of a casual experience to sort of miss out on a lot of the new concepts and stuff that's gone into this mod, just because I wanted to make it absurdly difficult. So I have significantly lightened up on the difficulty for the enjoyability of, you know, for players' sake, so that anyone can kind of enjoy all the new stuff. You don't have to be some kind of masochist to play through this mod. And he's gone. So, that's kind of where it's gotten to today. It's gone through a lot of iterations until I have decided on what we've got here now. And I think the demo itself is in a very good state. The basic loop of the mod is kind of very well defined out right now. You go through 4 levels, you fight a boss, go through 4 levels, you fight a boss. You know, sprinkle in some classic Spelunky secrets and stuff, and some lore, and you're good to go. I want to use this to get up here. Kind of a waste of ammo, but it's okay. So that's kind of the major thing, is making sure we have, like, all the, you know, the scope of the mod defined and the sort of the gameplay loop defined, which I do now, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. By the way, the boss that you get chosen for each world is randomized, and it's chosen from a list. So I've just been rolling Quill back every single time, but it is totally possible to get the giant spider into caverns. And then vice versa. But that is going to change. I do think I want bosses to be their more, you know, unique, defined things, hence the boss music. Kind of helps them seem like more of a, you know, their own experience than just, ooh, I actually got hit by that. More of a unique experience than, you know, just like a thing that you quickly kill to go to the next floor, or world, theme, whatever you want to call it. So, I'm happy with that. I do have a lot of really fun boss ideas planned. So that'll be interesting. Getting all my stuff back. Good luck. Anyways, we are going into what is an all-new area. It is completely unique to this mod. It's not a reskin of an existing area or anything like that. It is completely new. So, let's check it out. Oh, this is the factory. So, this is a completely new area that I designed from scratch. You know, new mechanics, new theme. I'm not the greatest artist, so these floors and tile sets are the best I could come up with. I hope to have people with actual talent someday, you know, work on the mod with me. Anyways, this area is very, very undercomplete. It's very poorly balanced, and it's very buggy. As you can see, this the little exit for this teleporter, this platform teleporter generator thingy, is just kind of going through a wall. So we've got stuff like that going on, but we have tons of other crazy mechanics I haven't even mentioned yet. We've got these teleporter pads. Step on them, they teleport you. I want to get up here to this guy. See if I can kill him with that. Interesting. Okay, that is going to help, and I'm chewing through ammo. That works. Anyways, I'm going to get backpack space, but I want to stop lugging this thing around. So we've got a bunch of enemies. We've got these little like mutant molten, like, you know, lava enemies that are kind of just fodder. As you notice, they don't drop experience. That's very intentional because otherwise you can just sit here and farm XP. They're basically just an obstacle. They don't make up the bulk of the levels. They make up the bulk of the levels enemies, but they're not like technically enemies with how the game works internally. So, oh, something fell into the grinder and died. So right now, there's very little. These layouts are basically the same every time. There's no unique shopkeepers. The one unique mechanic that I haven't really finished yet, that I will hope to be able to someday, is this. This cuts off all power to the level you're on, but it is a little bugged. But as you can see, all the platforms have stopped. The generators have no power. The teleporters aren't working. I plan to use this for something else in the future and probably rework the mechanic to make it more involved. Because I do want every, I want most unique worlds to have some kind of like unique gimmick or mechanic in them, just to make them more interesting. And I think this area is pretty interesting as is. I do want it to look more factory-like, even though I feel like I have done a pretty good job at that. Obviously, the tile set is, it's serviceable. It's not amazing. There needs to be more unique enemies. I don't even know if you've actually seen... Oh, there's a bug there where I'm poisoned. Everything is just going terrible. So, hopefully here in a second, I will show you these enemies. These are push bots. So what they do is, as the name suggests, if I can get one to actually push, is they push you like that. So these enemies are terrifying, simply because it is very easy to get crushed in this area. And there's the bounty hunter, right on cue. I'm going to turn off the power so she doesn't accidentally take a teleporter pad. And hopefully I get enough XP to level up here. Because I do believe poison carries on into the honor-bound arena. Oh, this isn't good. Okay. I can do this. Uh-oh. Am I going to be able to get back up? Well, I will be able to because I have this. I did these very sparingly. Oh, there's the key. It's up there. I need to not get hit by that. Yeah, this was needed. Oh, shit. Oops. Oh, I'll consider that my first death technically, but anyways, that's the factory area. I think we'll do one more run so I can kind of speak on some other things before I wrap things up, but that is about all of the content worth showing. There's one shopkeeper we haven't seen yet in the jungle that I would like to show off, but yes, I hope to make either 4 or 5 all new areas with new unique tile sets, not counting secret areas, like new areas to go to in the main, like, sort of like levels, when the mod is fully complete. That is one of them. There's going to be, you know, unique set pieces, unique NPCs, and all that good stuff. Obviously, it's just Development takes a lot of time, especially when you do not have a completely clear vision, and your vision is overly ambitious. And I think that's as good as any segue as any to speak on the future of this mod, because as it stands, I simply do not have enough time to continue full-time development of this mod. It would be very nice if I could. Unfortunately, my current life does not support the time required for that. You know, coordinating with artists, all that good stuff is just not on the table right now for me. I'm hoping at some point that changes, so I can continue work on this mod, because I have a lot of visions for what I want it to be. You know, the experience it'll provide the community. I think it'll be a very, very good mod once it's completely finished. It may not be for everyone, because it takes away from a lot of the simplicity that Spelunky is known for, but it does offer sort of a new experience. Please don't hit me. That was rude. I'm gonna hit to upgrade health, just to play it safe, because I do want to get back to the jungle. I don't think we'll do another victory lap here. I do want to get this kid out, though. I'm gonna fight the boss real quick. But, that's basically my ambitions for the mod. I would not want to spoil... Oh, here we got the giant spider. I don't want to spoil anything for the mod, because there are a lot of ideas that basically nobody besides me knows about this mod that I think are going to be really, really cool. But there's another 2,000 hours of development time that would go into this mod to, you know, until it's complete. Because the core mechanics are basically established, which is nice. There's a few more things I have to do internally, as far as like developing new areas and a few other niche things, like, you know, extra content, like bonus content. But as it stands right now, there's just a lot of work to do, and I can work like 30 minutes a day on this mod if I really like go out of my way, but it's not enough to really like fully hammer in some good development time. A lot of things just take time to develop, and you have to kind of get into that zone. So, fortunately, that's where I'm at right now. That guy. Oh, here we go. This is the shopkeeper I wanted to show off. This is hopefully going to be another part of a branching kind of story of some of the NPCs. Is Parmesan here. There's gonna be... Oh! I did not... Oh, because she interprets that as throwing a bomb. Oh well. My little minion did his job. I did not think she would aggro by throwing a spider minion. Anyways, hey, come back here. Oh well. Anyways, I need to level up. Oh, I did not mean to throw two. Oh well. Nice. I gotta say, it's very fun to use the little spider minions. A lot of the things in this mod, they're gimmicky and they're kind of overpowered, but they're just meant to be fun. They're just meant to, you know, something fun to mess around with. You know, you don't have to take it seriously. And the spiders, they're not amazing. Obviously, there's more effective ways to kill things, but it's just fun. I still ultimately want to prioritize things being fun in my mod. You know, if it's not fun, why bother? So that's why I'm okay with like certain things. What I'm not okay with is this tile here that spawns this room just full of monsters. This is not a well-designed room, and it needs to go. Oh, please save me, please. Okay, well, this is where I think the video ends. Natural end, I suppose. I think that's more or less everything I have to say on the mod as it is right now. I do not have time to continue working on it. I do intend to finish it someday. I hope to round up a team of talented artists, level designers, some programmers as well. Maybe even somebody to do a full custom soundtrack at some point to make this mod a fully complete experience. If I do continue work on it relatively soon, which I don't think I will, or in general, I suppose. I guess what I'm trying to say is once I do continue work on it, I will not be regularly updating the demo page with like all the new content constantly. I would rather let things all get released at once as kind of surprise for players, so you can experience everything at once instead of repeatedly playing, you know, the same content just to try out the new stuff. It's I would rather the full experience be ready all at once. But I will have playtesters as well. So if you really wanted to like see the newest thing I have working on, then that would be a position for you, because feedback is critically important for any game development or mod development, as I've come to learn. Without feedback, this mod would be a complete mess. With that being said, I think that's all I have to show off for now. Thank you guys very much for listening in, watching some terrible gameplay and some bugs, and hopefully I will see you soon.